Have you ever wondered about the events that led to the Second World War? It all began on a fateful day, September 1st, 1939, when Nazi Germany, under the command of Adolf Hitler, set its sights on Poland. This unprovoked invasion marked the ignition point of the conflict, prompting immediate response from the global community. Two key players, France and the United Kingdom, took a stand, declaring war against Germany. This was not a solitary act of aggression but rather the first in a series of invasions and conquests by a group known as the Axis powers. This group included not just Nazi Germany but also fascist Italy, led by Benito Mussolini, and Imperial Japan under Emperor Hirohito. This formidable alliance was set on expanding their territories, at the cost of peace. The invasion of Poland was just the beginning of a series of invasions and conquests by the Axis powers. The Second World War was fought on several fronts worldwide. In Europe, the Axis forces, which included Nazi Germany, Fascist Italy, and Imperial Japan, made swift advances. By 1940, they had conquered France and were threatening the United Kingdom during the Battle of Britain. This battle saw the United Kingdom successfully defend their skies from the German Luftwaffe, preserving their independence and providing a beacon of hope in a Europe dominated by the Axis powers. Meanwhile, on the Eastern Front, the Soviet Union faced a brutal invasion from Nazi Germany in a military operation known as Barbarossa in 1941. This marked the beginning of the bloodiest theater of the war, with immense human suffering and loss. Simultaneously, across the globe in the Pacific, Japan launched a surprise attack on Pearl Harbor in 1941. This devastating event led to the United States joining the war, opening another significant front. These battles were just a few of the key events that shaped the course of the Second World War. During the war, nations formed two main coalitions, the Allies and the Axis powers. As the world fell into chaos, countries banded together, seeking strength and unity. The Allies were a formidable force, led by major powers like the United Kingdom, the United States, the Soviet Union, and China. These nations, along with many others, united under a shared goal: to halt the aggressive expansion of the Axis powers. Speaking of the Axis powers, this coalition was primarily made up of Germany, Italy, and Japan. These countries, driven by ideologies of racial and national superiority, sought to reshape the world under their dominion. They were joined by other nations, lured by the promise of power or coerced into submission. The formation of these coalitions was not a mere formality. It was a strategic move, a chess game on a global scale. Each alliance sought to bolster its ranks, to outmaneuver the other. These alliances played a crucial role in the outcome of the war. Numerous key events influenced the course of the war. Let's delve into some of these pivotal moments. The Battle of Stalingrad, which took place between 1942 and 1943, was a significant turning point on the Eastern Front. It was a brutal, bloody conflict, where the Soviet Union managed to halt the advance of the German army, marking the beginning of a series of defeats for the Axis powers. Meanwhile, in Western Europe, D-Day, or the Allied invasion of Normandy in June of 1944, marked the beginning of the end for Germany's control over Western Europe. It was a carefully planned and executed operation that paved the way for the liberation of France and the rest of Europe from Nazi occupation. In the Pacific, key battles like the Battle of Midway and the Battle of Okinawa played crucial roles. They signaled the beginning of the end for the Japanese Empire's expansion and dominance in the Pacific. These events were turning points in the Second World War. The Second World War ended on September 2, 1945. The final act was Japan's surrender, a decision hastened by the devastating atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. The destructive power of these new weapons was undeniable, bringing an abrupt end to the conflict. The Allies, a coalition of countries including the United Kingdom, the United States, the Soviet Union, and China, claimed victory. But the end of the war did not bring immediate peace. The world was left to grapple with the immense consequences of this global conflict. Millions of lives had been lost, cities lay in ruins, and entire countries were left to rebuild from the ashes. The geopolitical landscape was forever altered. New superpowers emerged, old empires crumbled, and the map of the world was redrawn. This was a time of significant political and social change, setting the stage for the world as we know it today. The end of the Second World War marked a new era, forever shaping the post-war world.